Number 10. The false body image. Ever since the first dose of the Botox toxin, that's what we're gonna call it, was administered in 1989, the ideal body type has shifted. Over the years, people have chosen to receive cosmetic enhancements for various reasons. Some don't like the way that certain parts of their face or body appear, and some are forced into these situations due to some kind of an incident that left that person in need of some kind of bodily reconstruction, like Mickey Rourke. But over the years, the idea of a perfect frame has changed. But it's also a matter of personal opinion, honestly. Like, some people like dad bods, thankfully, where like some people feel that a small slender frame with more pronounced facial features is the way to go. But the trend that we're referencing today though, however, focuses on enhancing the trapezius muscles, which is located in our shoulders. The treatment lowers the percentage of fat in the shoulders and tightens up the muscle to give a more like curved and presented look to the shoulders and the neck. This is all fine and dandy, but these traits are normally attributed to like bodybuilders and people who fast for days on end. So not only is this creating a false body image for yourself, but it also is giving you a false sense of weight loss that's just not actually happening. While our shoulders naturally appear this way after muscles have been used over and over again, many people have opted to just purchase the look and skip the weights. I guess that's one way to go. Number 9. It's expensive. Much like any medical procedure, this thing costs money. Reportedly, the price varies depending on your specific region, but the cheapest procedure you can get according to many sources is like $1,050. Okay, now it's one thing if that's the price for like one and done session, okay, but the fluid used in the procedure is not permanent. Apparently this procedure only lasts for like roughly 5 months, meaning you're gonna have to come back and fork over the cash over and over and over again. Now, while many people are getting this done for cosmetic effects, many have stated that they received the procedure for its health benefits. Supposedly having this stuff jammed in your shoulder actually reduces muscle swelling and joint pain in that area, meaning that people are doing this to de-stress and relax their body. Hey, ever heard of a massage? Like, there are places that exist where you can go and have someone physically like will your muscles to relax, so why go to the extreme modification route and get your shoulders all juiced up instead? I just don't get it. Number 8. Casual usage. While it's common to get physical modification to one's face, or I guess shoulders now, you can basically get work done anywhere you want. Specifically, the chemical involved in trap box surgery. According to Dr. David Schaefer, a New York-based double-board certified plastic surgeon, he said that while the FDA approved the treatment for areas like crow's feet, for heads, and frown lines, the chemicals can also be used in many other places that can benefit from the procedure heavily. He explained that you can put it anywhere and that this new trend of filling the trapezius muscles is supposedly a solid one, but I don't know about all that. This information is coming from a doctor that gets paid to do this procedure. That's like a dentist telling you that chocolate is incredible for your teeth and you should actually like brush less. Also, the idea of being able to take a goo that you put into one body part and like put it in a bunch of other body parts, it just sounds nasty. Like, why would you want that? Number 7. Trendy. As many of you know, TikTok is the app that seems to rule the world these days. If something is trending, whether it's some kind of challenge or game or something involving celebrity gossip, it's on TikTok. This is unfortunate considering TikTok isn't always full of fun, cool life hacks that's gonna make your day easier. Most of the time it's actually full of silly people doing so many silly things. Let's not forget a few years ago when everyone started sucking on shot glasses for views because Kylie lip looked so nice. Or they were eating that certain cleaning product simply because it looked like candy. Yeah, that blue thing in my toilet looks like candy too, but if I use it to clean, it's probably not safe to eat. So why is it not shocking that enough people posted positive or interesting stories about receiving trap talks that it is now trending on social media and stirring up quite the reaction from everyone around the world? Remember, a few years ago, kids almost exploding their faces because Kylie lips were so pretty. Just saying. Number 6. Possible health issues. While the point of these procedures is to enhance one's appearance, the internal issues that can come with this is astonishing. As with anything being jammed through your skin, this particular stabby patty leaves behind large red marks and bruising. In many cases, the liquid can leak inside of your skin, causing small sores or blisters. Now, these are just the immediate after effects. This entry is all about the long-term effects on your health though. Prolonged usage of this stuff, which will be the case for anyone who wants to maintain their perfectly symmetrical shoulders, will result in muscle weakness in whatever region has been treated the most. It also slowly decreases your ability to function properly and use your like basic motor skills, meaning your shoulder might look nice now, but one day you might not even have the energy to lift that venti mocha latte to your lips. And guess what? Can't bend over and sip it, cause it's the same muscle. To sacrifice one's basic motor functions for the sake of beauty is astonishing. Even if you get this procedure to help with pain, you still risk losing the function of your arms. Please, ban this immediately. We need our arms. And you may be thinking, oh, what if I just get it a few times and stop? Oh, that shouldn't be a problem. No, Karen, it's gonna be a problem. According to many horror stories, if you stop receiving regular treatments after a prolonged period of time, your body will literally droop and melt like something out of The Thing from the 80s. Ugh. Number 5, the results. With our patent pending procedure, doctors are sure to have your back looking slender and smooth for years to come. Results may vary. TikTok has blown up about this procedure seemingly due to the before and after photos of some of the patients. These photos show the dramatic change that can take place following the first round of shots. It's said to give you a slimmer figure as well as more presented shoulders outlining the muscles underneath the skin. While this may look good at first, you will now constantly look like you're ever so slightly puffing out your chest or squaring up to anyone you walk near. This sounds uncomfortable to say the least, not just for the person receiving the shots, but the person who has to square up to a 5'3" lady drinking Starbucks. It's all good. We know that the caffeine in that cup is enough to take down whole armies single-handedly, so she's good. Number 4, toxic. Botulinum toxin. That is the specific term for what is commonly referred to as Botox. This is the chemical, that's right, chemical, that people pay thousands of dollars to have inserted into their bodies. Think about that. Toxin. When I think of that, I think of hazard signs and steaming green liquid. Oh yeah, that'll make me look awesome. The original formula back in the day was approved by the FDA, but it was originally used as a neurotoxin to help treat various illnesses by numbing muscles in the body and blocking nerve signals from reaching the brain. They used this stuff to cut off contact to our brains. Like, come on. History has proven time and time again that old school methods of medicine should stay that way. If you got a paper cut in the early 1900s, doctors were just like, well, sorry bud, better get your affairs in order. I was making a plane, man! So to whoever decided to keep using something called botulinum toxin as a beauty enhancer, I say, good afternoon! That's an old British insult that means fuck. Number 3, delivery system. One of the most painful parts of the procedure on this list is the actual way it's delivered into your skin. You see, if you're a person on planet Earth, you've probably had to get a shot once or twice. I still think it's wild that one day in school they just herd us all into the art room and administer a bunch of vaccines that you like kind of know about but not really. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. Anyway, if you're like me, you've witnessed some of your best friends cower in fear at the sight of dreaded needles. Now, while getting a shot is uncomfortable when it's only 2 or 3 in a row, imagine getting 20 of them one after the other into one specific spot on your body. Someone is stabbing you with the thinnest little sword in the world and you're just sitting there and letting it happen. Now, I'm not a fan of needles by any means, but I can handle a trip to the doctors with no problem. But put me in a chair and stab my shoulder 20 times, see how quick I pass out. Many procedures involving beauty solutions have begun to shift to an alternate, less invasive form of delivery, however. Blue lights and various infrared technologies have been developed to treat aging in skin, tension or pain in shoulder and joints, as well as for therapeutic purposes to decrease migraines and messy thoughts. Now, I'd much rather wear a motorcycle helmet full of Christmas lights than get Botoxed any day of the week. Number 2, side effects. Oh, speaking of the long-term side effects, oh boy, let's talk about how you're going to feel the first few days after you get your shots. After receiving your first treatment, it's not uncommon to find large red spots or painful bruises at the injection site. Following this, you'll start to feel dizzy, find it mildly difficult to swallow, which is a pretty important function, increase your risk of respiratory infections, and as we all know, those can close the world and land you in a hospital, and no one wants that. So over the following weeks, you will suffer from many symptoms, including double vision, migraines that only the strongest of medications can fix, drooping or swollen eyes, and increased sensitivity to light. While a lot of these issues are treatable and can be temporary, you will need to purchase various medications to help counteract that toxin in your body. Some of these medicines can cause people to sweat profusely, cause neck pain or muscle stiffness, and literally anxiety. One of the side effects is anxiety. Like, yes, please give me a bottle of something that already courses through my veins. And number one, the influence on youth. As previously mentioned in this this list, TikTok seems to be behind a lot of problems popping up with the younger generation. For instance, I recently discovered the existence of Water Talk, which is like a group of people on TikTok who genuinely believe that water filled with syrups and candy flavoring is like healthy and delicious. Anyone with common sense knows that that sounds like a health problem waiting to happen, but there are hundreds of thousands of people who are like, oh yay, yummy cotton candy water, slurp slurp. So of course the fact that this shoulder enhancing shenanigans is a bad influence for people shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. Like I said before, people are eating cleaning products because someone on TikTok was doing it. If TikTok told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it? There have been over 2.3 million views on some of these videos expressing many patients' personal excitement following their procedures. With so many people advocating for the extreme modification on the most influential social media platform to date, we wonder how long it will be before everyone has perfect shoulders and a headache that just won't go away.
Number 10. Kendall Jenner. Now there have been rumors about the Kardashian crew getting cosmetic surgery since the moment that they first appeared on screen. Each and every member of this family has been accused of having either a nose job or cheek fillers, but Kendall has one noticeable difference that stands out from the rest of her family. In side-by-sides, Kendall's eyes are actually larger than they once were, as well as more almond-shaped. Several doctors have chimed in online and claimed that there's no way she could achieve this look just by using makeup, unless, there's some special magical substance that yanks your face back, which probably exists, but it's suspicious, which is basically what a ponytail facelift is, so it's really the only real explanation. Number 9. Selena Gomez. The former Wizards of Waverly Place star has been dodging surgery rumors left and right for a very long time. Fans have noticed her face changing over the years. Side-by-sides from her Disney days till now show drastic changes in her facial features. Not only does she clearly have some kind of cheek fillers, but her eyes are a lot more cat-like than the original form. Selena has admitted to using skincare products in the past, designated to enhance features without the need of invasive surgeries. However, no foundation on this earth can give Selena the features that she currently has. It comes as no surprise to learn that Selena is actually a spokesperson for several beauty and cosmetic brands and has adamantly denied that she has received any major surgeries over the years. She's been shutting down rumors left and right for a very long time, even deleting photos from her Instagram because they received such massive slews of negative comments. Now, while it's never been confirmed if she's actually received any kind of work, just watching her on screen is enough to prove that the young Alex Russo that a lot of people grew up with has vanished into thin air. Number 8. Bella Hadid. Bella is actually one of the main reasons that this surgery is becoming so popular. When you compare photos of Bella 10 years ago to the ones that are taken this year, it is night and day. Not only have her cheeks noticeably shrunken and become more toned, but her eyes are a lot more almond-shaped, and Bella was one of the first people to openly admit to receiving this treatment as a way to further enhance her already obvious beauty. Bella has been drenched in plastic surgery rumors for a long time, and in 2018 she clapped back at her so-called haters, telling them that she was horrified of what plastic surgery could do to her face. While this ponytail surgery is not the most extreme surgery there is, it's still an invasive one, and it's one of the more sensitive areas of your face to take care of, but that's okay as long as nothing gets, injected into your eyeballs, right? Everything's fine. Number 7. Nicki Minaj. When it comes to Nicki Minaj and plastic surgery, she only has one response. What's good, Miley? No, she denies it. Rumors have been flying around since the moment she first appeared on our screens and stages, and over the years fans claim to have inside information that Nicki has received cheek implants, both on her face and on her backside, with one of her closest friends turning on her in 2013 and claiming that she was given the 411 on the big old buns, but as with many things involved with her looks, Nicki denies any enhancements of any kind. However, it doesn't take a super sleuth to realize that she has totally received some kind of work, right? Whether it's plastic surgery or not, she just looks different. Side-by-sides show that Nicki didn't have these naturally almond eyes like she has now when she first appeared on our screens. She may have never confirmed the surgery with her lips, but most certainly did with her face, because it looks different. Number 6. Ariana Grande. We have accepted that the former Nickelodeon star may have had some subtle procedures such as fillers, maybe some rhinoplasty. The jury's still out on whether she had a nose job, as Ariana has never confirmed this and actually went as far as denying it on Twitter, although she does have a habit of sometimes editing her nose on Instagram, so who knows? But we can't ignore the changes that we've seen this year. The singer has been rumored to have even more cosmetic surgeries towards the end of this year, causing her to look unrecognizable. The redhead that that we loved on Victorious and Sam and Cat seems like a totally different person. Ariana's eyes are more almond-shaped, she has dimples in her cheeks when she smiles, and she never used to have. Ariana has never confirmed if she's received surgery or not, but the face that we know and love is hidden behind a new Ariana. Number 5, Kim Basinger. Kim Basinger is a former model whose face has looked suspiciously smooth and wrinkle-free in recent years, leaving many to believe that she has had some kind of work done. A few years ago, a plastic surgeon named Dr. Omar Tillo weighed in on it to Express, and he said that he thinks that she's received Botox, cat eye surgery, and dermal fillers. He claims that if you look at previous photos, you can see apparent lines and wrinkles around Kim's eyes, and these could be treated with anti-wrinkle injectables like Botox. She has also clear lines around her mouth area, which could be the result of being smoothed out with dermal fillers. Kim's skin is also much fresher and has more of a complexion. This could be due to several factors like laser treatments. A second expert named Reza Nazab agreed and added that he believed that she might have also had a fat transfer or a facelift. This could explain the almond-shaped eyes behind the massive cheeks. Back in 2012, Kim's daughter, Ireland Baldwin, insisted that her mother had not received any plastic surgery while calling her the most naturally beautiful woman that there ever was or will be. Ladies, if you want to avoid any Botox, any other skin treatments, just listen to Ireland's mom. She hasn't had one treatment done because she stayed completely out of the sun all those years. She wrote it on an Instagram post. Kim herself has never addressed speculation surrounding her looks. Number 4, Catherine Zeta-Jones. When she attended the premiere of Entrapment in June 1999, she had the beginnings of crow's feet, especially when she smiled. But as the years went by, it seemed like those crow's feet vanished into thin air. And by the time this past year rolled around, she made a return to the mainstream, starring as Morticia Addams in the Netflix series Wednesday. She was a completely different human being, according to fans. Her skin was so smooth and her eyes were smaller than they once were, looking exactly like you would picture a person with fresh cat eye surgery to look like. Catherine was rumored to have received surgery after she was photographed entering a clinic in Beverly Hills, and she never confirmed that she received this specific surgery, but it's impossible to hide the obvious changes in the shape and face conditions. Number 3, Lil Kim. For the past 25 years, she's been pushing the boundaries as a female rapper and breaking records. Lil Kim's also considered to have pioneered mainstream love-positive feminism in hip-hop and has carved a path for many contemporary artists like Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, and Cash Doll. In addition to her unique sound and lyrical matters, she's known for her breathtaking, flamboyant fashion style and advocacy work for various causes. However, the American rapper served as an unforgettable MTV moment that made heads turn a few years ago. It's tough to deny her natural presence and beauty. After her lip surgery and a series of facial surgeries, she became unrecognizable to fans. Literally, people at her concerts were like, "Hey, who's that?" This speaks volumes, especially in front of the people who adore you the most. It also means that Lil Kim had too much work done. Staying relevant in the scene can be challenging as more female rappers rise to fame. Unfortunately, Lil Kim's attempts to fix her perceived natural flaws took her commanding presence and gorgeous looks away. Number 2, Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay got her big break when Disney casted her to play 2 roles in the classic family comedy The Parent Trap. She played twin sisters Hallie Parker and Annie James, who randomly meet at a summer camp and discover their parents split them up when they were babies. The twins then hatch a plot to get mom and dad back together, and it is a great movie. I love it so much. Her career only seemed to rise from there, starring in cult classics like Freaky Friday with Jamie Lee Curtis and Mean Girls as, the main character, Catty Heron. Unfortunately, her character took a step in the wrong direction when she was arrested in 2007 for driving under the influence of a controlled substance, for which she served 84 minutes in jail. Yes, minutes. Some people spend years in jail, but Lindsay got a little warning because she's Lindsay Lohan. Until 2022, her career was at an abrupt standstill, and she decided to take that time to make some cosmetic adjustments. She got some work done to herself, and the little Lindsay that we grew up with is now trapped behind a thin layer of silicone. Number 1, Cardi B. Cardi B has never been coy about the plastic surgery procedures that she's had done. During an Instagram Live in December 2022, she talked about a procedure she had done to her butt years ago, and it gave her followers a word of advice while doing so. Following the birth of her son, Wave, in 2021, Cardi B said that people thought she had work done when in reality she had gotten surgery in August to have 95% of her bipolymer bum injections removed. She went on to say that you should do your research and listen to doctors, and not just with, injections, but also any anything involving your rear, and all the other plastic surgeries and cosmetic surgeries as well. Like, really, just double check your sources, people. In 2019, the rapper got candid about having to cancel and postpone shows because of the need to recover from liposuction. And on Twitter, she talked about having to miss work for 2 weeks because of it. That same year, Cardi also told Entertainment Tonight that she had a chest lift after giving birth to her daughter, Culture, and was unhappy with needing to take time off. So Cardi's biggest thing is not that the procedures are bad themselves, but with the recovery time that it seems to take. Well, fear no more, Instalift is probably on its way, which is, I don't know, maybe that's a thing. I'm not a scientist.
At number 10, we have Daryl Hannah. She was originally known for being a blonde bombshell, starring in Blade, Kill Bill Shark Swarm, and Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, as well as so many more. Not all of the movies were dubbed successful, but she was a talented actress all the same. In her attempt to keep her figure and face looking young, she got a little too much facial work done and ended up skewing the world's view of her for good. She got a nose job, had Botox in her cheeks and eyes and forehead, and having lip fillers that didn't work out as planned. And with her Botox, she had the tails of her eyebrows raised. She didn't age with nearly as much grace as she could have, and she learned all too late that facial fillers don't look good on everyone. At number 9, we have Amanda Lepore. She has been dubbed one of the most influential transgender women in all of America, being a singer and a performer, as well as being a model, and being dubbed a public figure because of her fearlessness in all of her endeavors. She did have some work done in this process, but as she aged, she didn't stop getting work done, and it caused her to look a little more fake than she intended. She's had a rhinoplasty, eye lift, silicone injections of every sort, and the list goes on. Her goal was to look like an animated bombshell like Jessica Rabbit, while maintaining the realism and poise of icons such as Marilyn Monroe. Sadly, she kind of missed the mark on both of those things, and in her age, she began to look a little unsettling, or like a slightly melted Barbie. It's more slippery of a slope than we may think. At number 8, we have Heidi Montag. She went from being naturally beautiful to an unnatural Hollywood type of beautiful, which makes regular people question what her thought process was. She fully admitted she had some work done, and admitted to regretting it too. Between the years of 2006 to 2010, Heidi had a lot of chest augmentations that left her with way more back pain than she expected, considering the size and stature of the rest of her body. It looked extremely unnatural, and she later regretted her choices and had them reduced. But that's not all. She also admitted to having her lips filled, her cheeks done, her chin reduced, and her tummy tucked, and even went as far to have her ears augmented. She's got longer than shoulder-length hair, her ears can't be seen much anyway. She went a little too crazy with the face and body work, and she paid for it as she got older. At number 7, we have Jennifer Grey. Starring in Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Dirty Dancing, you'd think she'd be easily recognizable. But she got a lot of facial work done that made her look nothing like her younger self. And she's often been mistaken for someone else or not recognized at all because of it. Her career started to diminish after her 2 hit movies, but in her attempt to keep herself young, she got Botox, had a nose job, and had her eyelids raised, and had work in her cheeks and jaw so her face was more shapely. She went basically unnoticed for a while, but she had a small redemption arc in 2010 when she was on Dancing with the Stars. It's still unfortunate to see how much she's changed. At number 6, we have Lisa Rinna. She played the role of Billie Reed on the soap opera The Days of Our Lives, and much like the show, she didn't age well. She had most of her work done in her face, like having her eyebrows lifted, having a nose job, and most notably, her many years of getting lip injections. And they didn't age very well either. It got to a point where it was so bad that she had to have surgery to undo the amount of plastic surgery she had in her lips. You know enough is enough when you have to backpedal to fix how bad it's gotten. At number 5, we have Tara Reid. She's another one of those blonde bombshell actresses who was in cult classic movies, but other than that, had no real acting skills. She was in American Pie and Sharknado, so her success came from campy films, where she was a typecast. But she was also in the TV show Scrubs. In her attempt to maintain her typecast, she had some bodily work done, like chest augmentations and multiple tummy tucks. Sadly, as she aged, so did her procedures, and it left her with some scars, as well as some sagging here and some drooping there, and some more than obvious misshapen stomach. It's unfortunate that her body procedures didn't end well, but since she didn't get much work done in her face, overall, she still does look pretty decent for being in her 40s. At number 4, we have Ray Liotta. He has a very impressive IMDb, and has been cast in a lot more dramatic movies with hearty plot lines and a lot of character story. Now, playing characters like that can age a person, but when Ray tried to preserve his youth with Botox, it only made him look older and scarier if anything. He already had an unsettling complexion, with a thin face, small lips, and big blue eyes. But the surgery only enhanced these features and made him appear even more unsettling. It seems as if he got work done in his cheeks to remove the smile lines and had the tails of his eyebrows lifted in the process of getting forehead Botox. And he had his eyelids lifted so they didn't show signs of drooping. His aged appearance isn't very natural, but at least it didn't put a dent in his career. At number 3, we have Jerry Burns. He is a prime example of how getting Botox does not stop the aging process. When he was younger, he starred in TV shows such as Surviving Suburbia, Justified, and Good Morning Miami. It's very obvious that he went a little too hard with the injections, and you can see where his eyebrows and eyelids have been lifted, and where his forehead doesn't move anymore. It looks more than a little fake, and it's truly unfortunate that it didn't work out very well for him. Something else that doesn't work for him is the Botox wrinkles over his eyebrows, where he was filled a little too much, and it dispersed way too fast, so now he has a permanent look of surprise or shock on his face. You can also see where he had his cheekbones filled and lifted, so his smile is more like an uncomfortable sneer that seems more sinister than approachable. Sometimes it takes a person too long to see when they've gone past the point of no return. At number 2, we have Burt Reynolds. He wasn't exactly a conventionally attractive actor. Not when he was young, anyway. He aged very well, all things considered. But at his age now, he began getting work done to maintain his middle-aged looks. And it did not work very well for him either. In fact, it aged him further, and he looks more like a frail old man than ever. He claimed he inherited his smooth skin from his father, but as he got older, he had fewer wrinkles than when he was natural and middle-aged. He had a rhinoplasty, an eyelid lift, lots of Botox, and a full facelift. It seems like that's all that's holding his face together now, considering how tight and stretched it looks. Aging is a natural thing, and some people can't quite grasp that. And last but not least, we have Kenny Rogers. He was a really successful person, from being an iconic musician, dubbed the pioneer of folk music, having albums from the 60s right up until he passed, and having duets with musical icons such as Dolly Parton, Dottie West, and Sheena Easton, as well as being an author and having his own chain of chicken restaurants in the 90s. He made a big name for himself, but sadly, he is also being remembered for having botched plastic surgery, as well as a god-awful spray tan. He had very masculine features like a strong brow and admirable cheekbones, but after he had the surgery, it aged him greatly and made him look more frail and delicate rather than being the lumberjack type. Something he did rock was a salt and pepper beard, which added to his personality. But alas, with more surgery and aging, it became more white and added 10 years to him rather than fixing the issue. He takes the number 1 spot on our list because he looked nothing like his younger self.
Number 10, Madonna. What is there to say about this woman's career? Madonna has been stuck in our heads since we first heard her hits like Material Girls and Crazy for You. What may have also gotten stuck in your head though was just how gorgeous this woman once was. In the 1980s, Madonna was well known for her stylish duds and big blonde hair, at times channeling some serious Marilyn Monroe energy. It was unfortunate that Madonna felt the need to fall into the world of plastic surgery and injections as she got older. Photo comparisons from the 80s to now showcase the major changes, with her forehead appearing to be pushed out, as well as her cheeks and her lips being filled with enough Botox to give her the appearance of someone wearing a mask of Madonna over their own face. What's more is this combination seems to have molded her eyes into the almond shape of the cat. Fans have always been left wondering what she may have looked like if she never got any surgery. Would she still be a material girl, or would that material be riddled with stain? Number 9, Kendall Jenner. There have been rumors about the Kardashian crew getting cosmetic surgery since the moment that they first appeared on our screens. Each and every member of that family are accused of having either a nose job or cheek fillers, but Kendall has one noticeable difference that stands out from the rest. In side by sides, Kendall's eyes are actually a little bit larger than they once were, as well as more
more almond-shaped. Several doctors have chimed in online and claimed that there is no way she could have achieved this look by simply using cosmetics, unless they have some kind of a magical substance that yanks your face back, but it probably exists, but that's still very suspicious. Number 8. Bella Hadid. Bella is actually one of the main reasons that this surgery has become so popular. When you compare photos of Bella 10 years ago to ones taken this year, it's night and day. Not only have her cheeks noticeably shrunken and become more toned, but her eyes are more almond-shaped and cat-like. Bella was one of the first people to openly admit to receiving the treatment as a way to further enhance her already obvious beauty. Bella has been drenched in plastic surgery rumors for a long time. In 2018, she clapped back at her so-called haters, telling them that she was horrified of what plastic surgery may do to her face. While cat eye is not considered to be plastic surgery, it's still an invasion of one of the most sensitive areas of your face. But I guess that's okay. As long as nothing gets injected into her eyeball, everything's fine. Number 7. Selena Gomez. The former Wizards of Waverly Place star has been dodging surgery rumors left and right for a very long time. Fans have noticed her face changing over the years. The side-by-sides from her Disney days show drastic changes in her facial features. Not only does she clearly have some kind of a cheek filler, but her eyes are much more cat-like than the original form. Selena has admitted to using skincare products in the past designed to enhance features without the need of invasive surgery. However, no foundation on this earth can give Selena the features that she currently possesses. It comes as no surprise that Selena is actually a spokesperson for several beauty and cosmetic brands and has adamantly denied that she has received any kind of major surgeries. She's been shutting down rumors left and right for a very long time, even deleting photos from Instagram because they received such massive slews of negative comments. While it's never been confirmed if she actually received any work, just watching her on screen these days is enough to prove that the young Alex Russo we once knew has vanished into thin air. Number 6. Nicki Minaj. When it comes to Nicki Minaj and plastic surgery, she only has one response. What's good? No, she just denies it. Rumors have been flying around since the moment she first appeared on our screens and stages. Over the years, fans claim to have inside information that Nicki has received cheek implants, both in her face and her backside, with one of her closest friends turning on her in 2013 and claiming that she was given the 411 on the big old buns. But as with many things involving her looks, Nicki denies any enhancements of any kind. However, it doesn't take a super sleuth to realize that she has totally received some kind of work on her face. Side-by-sides show that Nicki did not have naturally shaped almond eyes when she first appeared on our screens. She may have never confirmed the surgery with her lips, but most certainly did with her eyes, because they're not the right shape now. Number 5. Ariana Grande. We have accepted that the former Nickelodeon star may have had some subtle procedures such as fillers or maybe even a rhinoplasty done. The jury's still out on whether or not she's had a nose job, as Ariana has never confirmed this and actually went as far to denying it on Twitter, although she does have a habit of sometimes editing her nose on Instagram, so it's kinda wishy-washy. We can't ignore the changes that we have seen in the past few years. The Santa Tell Me singer has been rumored to have had even more cosmetic procedures towards the end of 2022, causing her to look almost unrecognizable. The redhead that we all loved on Victorious and Sam and Cat seems to be a totally different person now. Ariana's eyes are more almond shaped, and she now has dimples in her cheeks when she smiles that she just never used to have. Ariana has never confirmed if she's received the surgery or not, but the face that we all knew and loved is hidden behind this new Ariana. Number 4. Kim Basinger. The 69-year-old actress and former model's face has looked suspiciously smooth and wrinkle-free in recent years, leaving many to believe that she's had some work done. A few years ago, a plastic surgeon named Dr. Omar Tillo weighed in on it to express his side, and he said that he thinks that she's received Botox, cat eye surgery, and dermal fillers. He claimed that if you look at previous photos, you can see apparent lines and wrinkles around Kim's eyes. These could be treated with anti-wrinkle injectables such as Botox. She also has clear lines around her mouth, which could be the result of being smoothed out with dermal fillers. Kim's skin also seems to be fresher with a more even complexion. This could be due to several factors, such as laser treatments. A second expert named Reza Nizab agreed and added that he believed she might have also had a fat fat transfer or a facelift. This could explain the almond-shaped eyes behind the massive cheeks. Back in 2012, Kim's daughter, Ireland Baldwin, insisted that her mother had not received any plastic surgery while calling her the most naturally beautiful woman there ever was or will be. Ladies, if you want to avoid Botox and any other skin treatment, he said, ladies, if you want to avoid Botox or other skin treatments, listen to my mom. She hasn't had one treatment done because she stayed completely out of the sun all these years. Yeah, she wrote that on Instagram. I don't think that's true. Kim herself has never actually addressed the speculation surrounding her looks, but number 3, Renee Zellweger. When we first met Renee in the cult classic Empire Records, she was a baby face with bangs and brown lipstick, but nowadays she is unrecognizable. After making a name for herself starring as Bridget Jones, she continued to star in several comedies and romantic flicks alongside performers like Jim Carrey, Keanu Reeves, and Tom Cruise. In 2019, she reinvented herself, appearing on the show What If on Netflix. Fans were shocked to see the differences between her 90s glory and her current state. Her eyes were noticeably smaller, her cheeks were more pronounced, and according to several sources, she had received cat eye surgery a few years back to help combat the effects of aging. What it accidentally did was make it so that Renee always looked like she's squinting. While she delivered a solid performance on the show, fans were distracted by the stiff facial features of their main actor. Number 2, Catherine Zeta-Jones. When she attended the premiere of Entrapment in June 1999, she had the beginnings of crow's feet, especially when she smiled, but as the years went by, it seemed like the crow's feet vanished into thin air. By the time this past year rolled around and she made a return to the mainstream starring as Morticia Addams in the Netflix series Wednesday, she was a completely different human being. Her skin was so smooth and her eyes were smaller than they once were, looking exactly like you would picture a person with fresh cat eye surgery to look. Catherine was rumored to have received surgery after she was photographed entering a clinic in Beverly Hills. She's never actually confirmed that she received this specific surgery, but it's pretty impossible to hide the obvious changes in the shape and condition of your face. Number 1, Jocelyn Wildenstein. This New York socialite is no stranger to the world of media. Ever since the mid-1990s, she's been famous around the world for being a literal cat woman, having received so many plastic surgeries that she now resembles a cat. I don't know, she looks more like a lion to me, but lion woman doesn't have as nice of a ring to it. Her journey started with the titular cat eye surgery, but it was just the first in many steps to get that perfect face. According to her friends and family, the surgeries were not intended to give her a Barbie-like face, but rather that of a lynx, which had apparently been her pet for a while. While she wasn't famous for a long time, it was the photos that were shared following her divorce from husband Alec that got her into the mainstream. Most of the attention was drawn to her looks, and she was quickly dubbed the Catwoman by the entire world. Despite being worth millions of dollars, Jocelyn has faced financial struggles over the past few years, and at one point even being sued by American Express for owing them $70,000 in credit. Her cat eyes may be trapped behind a massive layer of plastic and silicone, but they will always be the first step taken down the rocky road. Number 10, Khloe Kardashian. Khloe Kardashian is one of many people from the Kardashian crew that I could have chosen for this list, but unlike some of her sisters, Khloe has opened up to fans about her cosmetic surgery journey, revealing her only regret about having a nose job. For years, Keeping Up with Kardashian's fans had questioned whether Khloe had any work done on her nose or any other part of her body really. During the show's reunion special last year, she confirmed that she had the surgery. She had apparently been hesitant to share the information with fans, as she claimed that the world is just a bit too easy to set off and that people would more than likely bombard her with backlash, which is exactly what happened. After revealing the truth, she was blasted with questions left and right. Why? What? When? Where? Huh? According to Khloe, the main reason she wanted to try something different was because she was tired of being compared to her siblings all the time. The Kardashian clan is large and filled with basically one of every kind of crazy, but Khloe has maintained that she regrets trying to alter herself just to be a little bit more different than her sisters. Number 9, Cardi B. Cardi B has never been coy about the plastic surgery procedures that she's had done. During an Instagram live video in December 2022, she talked about a procedure that she had done to her bum years ago and gave her followers a word of advice while doing so. Following the birth of her son, Wave, that's a great name, in September in 2021, people said that they thought she had work done, when in reality she had gotten surgery in August to have 95% of her bipolymer bum injection removed. She went on to
to tell people that they should do research and listen to their doctors, not just when it comes to bum injections, but also Brazilian bum lifts. Seriously, why can't I say butt? And all the other plastic and cosmetic surgeries. In 2019, the rapper got candid about having to cancel and postpone shows because she needed time off to recover from a liposuction. On Twitter, she talks about having to miss work for 2 weeks because of that. And in that same year, Cardi also told Entertainment Tonight that she had a chest lift after giving birth to her daughter, Culture, and was unhappy with needing to take the time off. So Cardi's biggest problem is not with the procedures themselves, but the recovery time it seems to take. Well, fear no more with InstaLift. No, I'm just kidding, that's not real, but oh man, I've got a good pitch for Shark Tank. Number 8, Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy Teigen has no issue when it comes to being open about what plastic surgery procedures she has done. The 35-year-old model recently took to her Instagram story to show off the results of the cosmetic surgery procedure that she revealed she underwent: buccal fat removal. The goal of buccal fat removal is to thin the cheeks, and specifically in the area of the cheek hollows, and I'm not talking about face cheeks. While she claims that the removal was a success and that she could see the results, the aftermath of the situation left her on the other side of the argument. She was candid about this procedure. Many were still questioning how she got her face cheeks to look so perfect though. Speculation started running wild of people claiming to know for a fact that she had fillers. In fact, an entire YouTube channel was dedicated to proving that this woman was made of silicone. She addressed the rumors online and claimed that she did in fact receive the aforementioned bum solution, but she denied that the claims that she received any kind of cheek fillers, and instead she made it known that she was not an advocate for body morphing, claiming that the only time that should ever be done is for medical purposes. Number 7, Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie has been a staple in the world of Hollywood ever since starring in the iconic 1978 horror flick Halloween. She slowly made herself a force to be reckoned with, making her way through several iconic shows and films before landing an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in last year's Everything Everywhere All at Once. Jamie has been very open about her life when asked in interviews. She is an open book ready to be read by any and all that are interested. When the topic of plastic surgery comes up, Jamie is very loud with her opinion, claiming people should not F with their faces. In 1985, Jamie underwent a handful of procedures to increase her beauty. She got Botox and liposuction, which she admitted made her feel terrible. She also recounted trying to change her hairstyle all the time, but the reinvention of Jamie Lee just never took place. Now in her 60s, Jamie is still stunning, and it's got nothing to do with surgery. Just a long life of running away from masked maniacs. Number 6, Kim Kardashian. The reality star can be tight-lipped about the cosmetic procedures that she has undergone, and has repeatedly denied getting plastic surgery, but on a forthcoming episode of The Kardashians, she seems to make a surprising confession. In a peek at season 3 shared by her sister Chloe on Snapchat, Kim is seen taking voice lessons. While talking to her vocal coach, the Skims founder admitted that she couldn't use her neck muscles to sing because half of hers were probably Botoxed. Kim admitted to having a little bit of Botox in a 2022 Allure interview, but claims that she's had no filler, adding that she will never fill her cheeks and she's never filled her lips and all this jazz. While this may be true, back in 2010, Kardashian suffered facial bruises after getting Botox before she turned 30, an experience that was documented on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Kim claims that the surgeon warned her of all the possible side effects, like they're supposed to do, but because it was the first time receiving the procedure, she flipped out in front of the cameras. Since then, Kim has steered clear of any more Botox-related procedures, claiming that she felt a constant burning sensation for days afterwards, being some of the most painful moments of her life. Number 5, Courtney Cox. The Friends star was speaking with the UK Sunday Times Style magazine ahead of the launch of her new comedy horror TV show, Unveil, in which she plays a depressed novelist who moves from New York City to rural Connecticut with her family. Cox herself is facing up to the fact that she is not far off from 60. She admitted that she initially tried to fight aging with all kinds of cosmetic trends, but eventually realized that she had gone crazy and is now trying to age gracefully. Despite her global superstar status, Cox said her confidence was dented a few years ago after shooting a pilot for a series that was never produced. Thankfully, the treatment she received could be removed. Her face filler slowly dissolved, and it would appear that she's decided to steer clear of any more cosmetic situations, proven by her role in the new Scream series, where she really does not look all that different from her Friends days. Number 4, Sharon Osbourne. The talk host, who is 70, admitted that she came to the decision to quit with the surgeries after an October 2021 facelift left her with one one eye lower than the other one. TV personality and wife to the Prince of Darkness, Sharon previously spoke about regretting the horrendous facelift with the Sunday Times. She said she had a full facelift that October that left her looking like a mummy in an enormous amount of pain. Not only did the procedure leave her with one droopy eye, but she added that the 5.5-hour operation was not worth the time or the price tag. In fact, she kept calling herself a cyclops because they did such a bad job. At least she was able to laugh about the situation. Since her last botched job, Sharon has decided to steer clear of the whole surgical route for now, and instead is going with the au naturel look. Number 3, Tara Reid. Tara was initially a rising star in the world of Hollywood, being featured in several franchises over the years. But as time went on, her career slowed down and she was offered less and less roles. This was thanks to the reality series called Taradice, which showcased her penchant for the party lifestyle. A wardrobe malfunction at a party for P. Diddy in 2004, in which one part of her chest was visible for all the world to see, did not help the situation. Shots of her deformed chest quickly circulated on the internet, and Reid says that she was devastated. She had consulted with a plastic surgeon who gave her a completely different size than she had wanted, and Reid also had a procedure called body contouring done by the same surgeon, and she was unhappy with those results as well. Reid went under the procedure again one more time to get the previously botched jobs corrected. She says she saw a therapist for about a year to get help with her confidence issues and has settled down since her Taradice days. And on top of that, she's also steered clear from too many more surgeries, urging anyone who is going under to do some research first and, check those sources. Number 2, Mickey Rourke. In the 1980s, Mickey Rourke began to find success as an actor. He was praised for his appearance. The Independent compared his youthful appearance to Marlon Brando or James Dean. So when the actor's appearance changed in the 90s, fans started asking questions. And as it turns out, the explanation for the transformation, it makes sense. Speaking on the topic of plastic surgery, Rourke told the Daily Mail in 2009 that most of his was to mend the mess of his face after boxing. Rourke had cartilage taken from his ear to help rebuild his nose, which was an operation that he called one of the most painful things he had ever gone through. His biggest regret comes from not doing enough research before booking the appointment. Seriously, this whole list could just be top 10 times you should have done research. He's quoted as saying he went to the wrong guy to get his face fixed. Well, he has claimed that he's only had one more surgery to attempt to fix things. He has since become a public advocate for only getting surgery if it's for health purposes, because sometimes you need a part of your arm grafted to your shin. People are wild. At number 1, Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman has admitted that she regretted using Botox to battle the signs of aging. The Australian actress confessed that she did indeed use the cosmetic injections, but said that it was an unfortunate step in her beauty regime, adding that she was glad to regain some of the movement in her face. She recounts getting Botox at one point and claiming that it had unfortunately left her face looking a little disfigured, ultimately opting out to get another jab. She claims to have hated the way she looked when she first received the shots, very quickly realizing what a mistake she had made. She claims that her beauty comes from a natural place outside of that, saying in interviews that she is not one to advocate for plastic surgery. She claims to use sunscreen, not do any illegal substances, and she takes care of herself. Boring! Hey, if I had millions of dollars, I might drink a smoothie and hire a trainer too. But I don't. Number 10, Zac Efron in Baywatch. Acknowledging his appearance changed in recent years, Efron explained that his looks changed after he fell over at his home and he broke his jaw in November of 2013, making his face and jaw muscles have to work extra hard. According to Zac, he was seeing a physical therapist to help him recover from this, but he briefly stopped while he was in Australia, where he taped 2 seasons of his Netflix series Down to Earth. It wasn't until 2017's Baywatch that fans really noticed the physical changes that Zac was going through. He was already a very muscular man. He claims to have starved and dehydrated himself for the shoot to appear more toned up. And on top of that, this was around the same time that his jaw started to reset itself, being noticeably stiff throughout the feature. His jaw is now more pronounced and it gives him like a more square but muscular face, almost appearing swollen sometimes. The look was only a third of the reason that fans hated this movie. It was also because of the terrible script and performances from its cast. Seriously, Dwayne Johnson, come on. Number 9, Sylvester Stallone in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Now, Sylvester Stallone
Stallone's face is distracting in general. Ever since Rocky, this dude has looked like he's slowly been melting for 20 years, until suddenly a new face emerged. The fun thing with Sylvester is, depending on what movie you've seen between 2010 and now, depends on what you may have gotten in terms of face altogether. Around The Expendables, fans started to notice some subtle changes in his face. The cheeks were a little bit more prominent, he seemed to have more pronounced jaw, but the closer to the final Rambo movie we got, the more that he began to resemble his Rocky days. But most recently in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, it seems that someone took a drywall scraper and just slowly flattened his face. His eyebrows also look more pronounced, almost like they're the Nike swoosh. And while the overall film is not a flop, the scenes with Sylvester in them were universally agreed to be unnecessary and distracting to the overall project. Number 8. Mickey Rourke in Wild Orchid. Back in his early days in Hollywood, Rourke was known as one of the prettiest boys in town. He was often compared to the likes of Marlon Brando and James Dean. However, that reputation did not last long. Throughout the 1980s, the diner actor would always talk about his issues with fame and how he hated the industry. So, throughout the early 90s, Mickey slowly started getting into the world of professional boxing as an escape. This was the main cause for so much of his misshapen face. According to Mickey himself, he had slowly been dismantled by the sport, breaking his nose twice, snapping his cheekbone, and damaging his ribs and toes. Needless to say, a professional doctor advised him to hang up the gloves before it did too much damage, but unfortunately that damage was already done. In his 1990 film Wild Orchid, the actor's cheeks were visibly swollen and he just looked so different. Later in 2009, he admitted that these changes were indeed due to botched plastic surgery, as a lot of people speculated. Whether it was the bad acting or the bad surgery, the movie tanked at the box office and it currently sits at a 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. Since then, Mickey has gone under again for corrective surgery, but he still looks like a clay model of his former self. Number 7. Nicole Kidman in Bewitched. Nicole has been around for a while in the world of Hollywood, starring in everything from superhero movies like Batman Forever to the film on this list, 2005's Bewitched. The film was based around a TV series of the same name and featured Kidman as the lead and Will Ferrell as her co-star. The film was okay, it's fun for some, but for critics, it was a rough ride. One thing many fans noticed right away was that her cheeks looked suspiciously round. Throughout the movie, the audience was left wondering what was happening to Nicole's face. Over the years, it has been speculated that she's gotten some kind of work done, but it was never actually confirmed. But just taking one look at a side-by-side proves that something has been done. Her cheeks look fuller, her face seems lifted, there's a lot going on upstairs. This film was just the first of many to leave fans pondering what Nicole had been doing, and it did not stop there. The closer to 2020 we got, the more she appeared to have done, becoming nearly unrecognizable in her role in Bombshell. Number 6. John Travolta in Wild Hogs. John Travolta is a renowned actor who's been around for decades and's probably starred in at least one of your top 10 movies. However, the iconic Pulp Fiction actor surprised fans with what looks like the aftermath of botchy plastic surgery in 2007's Wild Hogs. Fans were convinced that John had some work done in his face and it had gone horribly wrong. Comparing his face to the Grease Lightning star that we all know and loved, there are just noticeable differences under his eyes and around his jaw. He now had more of a square face with unnaturally straight bone structure that he most certainly did not have when he met Sandy. Of course, getting Botox, fillers, or even plastic surgery as a quick fix to hide the inevitable signs of aging is not that big of a deal in Hollywood, but Mr. Travolta might have just stepped into the wrong surgeon's office, as fans were shocked and critical about his new look. The film overall was just a little bit strange, but it had a nice premise. It featured some pretty stellar comedic actors like Tim Allen and Martin Lawrence and Ray Liotta. They played a wannabe crew of bikers who get more than they bargained for when they run into actual gang members. It sounds fun, but the entire film is derailed by the distracting face of John Travolta. Seriously, this dude went from Grease Lightning to being struck by lightning. Number 5. Helen Hunt in I See You. From Mad About You and What Women Want to Twister, there is no denying that Helen Hunt has been a tour de force on screens big and small for decades. In fact, she got her start as a child actor in the 70s. A lifetime in the spotlight means fans will always
be curious about every aspect of your life. Considering the pressure to remain youthful in Hollywood, many fans wondered if Helen Hunt ever decided to get plastic surgery. Well, 2019 was a big year for Helen. She had several movies coming out and had just directed an episode of The Politician. However, the main draw of that year was her role in the horror movie I See You, with many fans claiming that the film was unwatchable simply due to her facelift. It seemed like someone was trying to CGI out all the age on her face, but it ended up looking just strange, weird. The negative online comments caused many fans to skip this one and wait for the home release. Who am I kidding? They torrented it. Number 4. Tara Reid in American Pie Reunion. Tara has starred in several comedy flicks over the years, but they tend to stick to the same category: schlocky and cheap, which are still fun. Being a part of movies like Van Wilder, Sharknado, and of course the American Pie series. While she seemed to be on the rise, rumors of a serious attitude on set were slowly bringing her less and less roles, and a wardrobe malfunction at a party for P. Diddy in 2004, in which one part of her chest was visible for all the world to see, well, that didn't help either. She had clearly gotten some work done, which was obvious thanks to a certain body part being in the shape of a square and not a circle like it should be. She had also received many physical alterations to her face and stomach, with the latter being botched so horribly to the point where Tara had a hernia that prevented her from being able to work without a shirt on, which was apparently a big part of her career. When the gang got back together for the reunion, fans were curious to see where the film would take the crew and if it may be the first of many more American Pie movies. Unfortunately, the script combined with the distracting physical changes to one of its main cast members caused fans to peg this flick as a must-forget. Number 3. Jeremy Piven in Smokin' Aces. The Entourage star has not always been some cool guy in a suit. He's been a wide range of characters, from a bald store clerk to a villain in Spy Kids 4. This man is versatile, and so is his hair. In one of Jeremy's first acting gigs in Singles from 1992, he's very obviously missing the top of his head. His hair is slowly thinning, but is very clearly on its way out. Okay, so cut to the first season of Entourage, where his hair suddenly began to grow back. And by the time the 2006 movie Smokin' Aces came along, Jeremy had long hair. He looked like he was in a boy band that partied just a little bit too hard. This was a very distracting moment in the world of Hollywood and is a part of the reason that this movie tanked. It could be that, or it could be the terrible performances given by Piven, especially when you compare it to his co-stars like Ryan Reynolds and Ben Affleck, but who knows. It seems that the closer to 2020 we got, the more hair this dude had. He claims to have received hair transplant surgery, which was difficult to hide as he was bald one day and Elvis Presley the next. Number 2. Portia de Rossi, Arrested Development. While this may not be a film entry, how about the fact that she messed up a whole season of television just with her face? In fact, it had changed so much that her character was slowly written out of the series. The popular series returned after 7 years of rest, releasing an entire season, 15 episodes worth, all at once on Netflix. Now this is how the running joke heavy sitcom was really meant to be watched, all in one sitting over and over again at the viewer's own leisure. But it seemed that all the Twitter sphere could talk about was actress Portia de Rossi's face. De Rossi, who plays the vapid, self-centered, clueless Lindsay Bluth Fuquet in the series, had apparently gotten some work done as a side-by-side of season 1 to season 4 shows vastly different faces. Several plastic surgeons gave their take on the possible changes and agreed that it was very obvious that she had had some work done. They report that she received a nasal tip reconstruction and Botox injections. Yeah, you don't need to be a plastic surgeon to see that one. Unfortunately for the show, that 4th season was not well received, and one of the many issues that fans seemed to have was the little to no explanation on why Lindsay looked like that. And at number 1, Kim Basinger in The Burning Plain. Kim was a rising star in the 1980s, being featured in rom-coms, action movies, dramatic pieces, each one just a little bit better than it would have been without her. Towards the end of the 1990s, she was still maintaining a steady career, but as we entered the new millennium, many were noticing several changes to her face. By the time The Burning Plain came out, it was obvious what was going on. Her cheeks were noticeably larger, leaving her with deep ridges. Her face was also suspiciously wrinkle-free, which made the changes even more obvious. Between the Botox, the facelift, and who knows what else, her role in the film was bogged down by the unrecognizable face of Miss Kim Basinger. Despite boasting a great cast with Jennifer Lawrence and Charlize Theron, the film tanked, and
no one could take it seriously.
So starting off our list today at number 10, we have Kim Kardashian. For years now, it seems like the Kardashian family has denied having any sort of procedures done, which is baffling because just having one look at the family, you can tell that they have definitely had a lot of work done to achieve their looks. While Kim has continued to go on and claim that she hasn't had any butt injections, she has claimed to getting cortisone shots to help her with her psoriasis. In 2022, during her cover interview with Allure, she would explain that she had a little bit of Botox done, and that's exactly what she's done to her face over the years. She then went on to deny any other procedures after she said she chilled on all the Botox lately. She then went on to claim that she's never had eyelash extensions and went on to say, "I've never done anything. I have a drop of mascara on today. I've never filled my cheeks. I've never filled my lips." But do we actually really believe her? Number 9, Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy Teigen has been pretty open about her plastic surgery when she first started to admit to her procedures back in 2017 when she told Refinery 29 that she had her armpit sucked out, and when her fat came back, she had to pay for liposuction again so she could feel more confident when she wore her dresses. Then in 2019, the star would take to her Instagram to post that she would be removing her chest implants as she wanted to be able to zip into a dress size that was actually her size. And then again in 2021, the star would take to her Instagram again to share that she had the fat removed from her cheeks when she said, "I did that Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal thing here, and since I quit drinking, I'm really seeing the results." Chrissy then went on to point to the area of her cheek where the procedure had been done before adding in her caption that she had no shame in her Dr. Diamond game. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming at number 8, we have Khloe Kardashian. I don't think any of us really thought Khloe would admit to some of the procedures she had done on her face, as we thought she was just going to conceal the truth about her work like the rest of the family seems to do. However, during an episode on Keeping Up with the Kardashian series finale reunion, the star would admit to her procedures when she said, "For me, everyone says, oh my gosh, she had her 3rd face transplant. But I've had one nose job and everyone gets so upset like, why don't I talk about it? No one's ever asked me." On her talk show Cocktails with Khloe, the star also admitted to having facial fillers dissolved when she said, "My face was so effed, I had to go and get this whole thing dissolved. It was a bummer and now I'm afraid to do it again. I'm also almost like I swear things are still in my face," which is honestly probably true, as once you alter your face, you can't go back to what you used to look like before. Number 7, Ashley Tisdale. Have you ever noticed that Ashley Tisdale's face altered around the time she was working on the hit show Sweet Life of Zack and Cody? Well, later on in Ashley's career, after the rumors started to circulate around the star altering her nose, she would admit that she did have a nose job done in 2007 to fix a deviated septum. When she told people, "I didn't do this because I believe in plastic surgery, I did this to help my health. I literally almost could not breathe out of my right nostril. I want my fans to know the truth. I'm not someone who is going to act like I have done nothing. I just want to be honest with my fans who are everything to me." And while Ashley did choose to admit that she had surgery done, she's not like most celebrities on this list today because she chose to have the cosmetics procedures done to help her health and not to improve her overall look. Number 6, Bella Hadid. In her 2022 Vogue cover story, Bella Hadid would share that she regretted having her nose altered when she was just 14 years old, when she said, "I wish I would have kept the nose of my ancestors. I think I would have grown into it." She also went on to add that her nose job was the only procedure she has ever gotten done, and she went on to say, "People think I fully effed my face because of one picture of me as a teenager looking puffy. I'm sure you don't look the same now as you did when you're 13, right? I've never used filler. Let's just put an end to that. I have no issue with it, but it's not for me." Instead, she went on to state that her lifted appearance is the result of an illusion when she said, "Whoever thinks I've gotten my eyes lifted or whatever, it's called face tape, the oldest trick in the book." However, while the star has admitted to her nose job, it's only a matter of time before she comes out to reveal that she also had buccal fat removal, as her cheeks are looking hella sculpted lately. Number 5, Joe Jonas. You think being one of the best looking men in Hollywood, Joe Jonas would have never done anything to his face, but then think again, as the star has had help from injectables over the years to help help combat signs of getting older. As he once told people, we're all getting older, and part of it is being comfortable in our own skin. Around this time, Joe was also becoming a brand partner for Exomin, which is an anti-wrinkle injectable that temporarily improves the appearance of frown lines using a double filtered formula. Joe would also go on to admit he not only uses this treatment for his frown lines, but he also uses it to smooth out a scar he has between his eyebrows, before noting that his procedure has never been over the top and that he kept things pretty light so you couldn't really tell that he has had work done. Joe actually only chose to come out about his cosmetic treatments so he can encourage other men to feel comfortable doing the same thing, as he doesn't find it such a big deal, and he would also state that we should all feel confident about how we look. Number 4. Courtney Cox. At one point in time, we all noticed that there was just something different about Courtney Cox, and while a lot of people just couldn't wrap their finger around it and what was different with her, some of the star's fans then started to accuse the star of having work done. While Courtney was silent for years about her cosmetic procedures, in 2017 she would finally admit to having cosmetic surgeries when she said, "I've had all my fillers dissolved. I'm as natural as I can be. I feel better because I look myself. I think that I now look like the person that I was. I hope I do. Things are going to change. Everything's going to drop. I was trying to make it not drop, but that made my face look fake. You need movement in your face, especially if you have thin skin like I do. Those aren't wrinkles, they're smile lines. I've had to learn how to embrace movement and realize that fillers are not my friend, but honestly, fillers seem to be no one's friend. So it's surprising to see so many celebrities entering into the trend to get them." Number 3. Marc Jacobs. Back in 2021, Marc Jacobs would cause quite the public stir on Instagram after he uploaded a selfie of himself post-operation that showcased his head wrapped in bandages. The celebrity would then open up about his $50,000 facelift and his decision to publicly reveal he had gone under surgery, while saying there was no shame in being vain. The designer has been sharing candid photos of his post-operative recovery on his personal Instagram account since. The celebrity plastic surgeon Andrew Giacono performed his deep plane facelift on July 20th, 2021. Marc would then open up about his procedure with Vogue when he told the media outlet, "I've got some scars around my ears and my face is swollen. I have a bruised neck. I'm still posting on Instagram. I don't care. I don't even see it as an effort to be transparent. I'm doing what I normally do, which is living my life and sharing it with anybody who is interested." Marc would then point out that he's been pretty honest about his changing appearance for decades, and he'll continue to do so as he gets more procedures done. Number 2. Tori Spelling. Back in 2021, Tori Spelling would address her expired and recalled chest implants when the actress posted a photo of herself at a plastic surgeon's office that year on November 19th. In the caption of the photo, she would say, "After needing to for many years, I'm finally addressing my expired and recalled implants. Thanks for squeezing me in. Dr. Plastic Surgery. Great consult. I adore you already." Beforehand, Tori had already previously shared that her implants had expired during an October episode, Wind Down with Janet Kramer. And when Tori was asked if she wanted to have new implants done, the Beverly Hills 90210 actor would say she did, before noting, "See, no one told me when I got that done. In 10 years, you would have to get them redone." Beforehand, in 2019, Tori did address all the rumors around her changed appearance when she told people, "The one thing that stuck with me forever was the plastic surgery thing. I literally had my nose done and my chest done. That's it. I'm constantly reading that I've done more." While the star has been under speculation for more procedures since she was at the age of 19, it seems like most celebrities can shake the rumors, but Tori's plastic surgery rumors have stuck with her throughout her entire career. And coming in at number 1 today, we have Reed Ewing. Reed Ewing once opened up about how he had a nightmare of a time struggling with body dysmorphia and the resulting horrors he faced when he attempted to use plastic surgery to fix it. When the actor, who is best known for playing Dylan on Modern Family, penned an essay for the Huffington Post, he would give shocking details about how he had a pretty difficult time in his life dealing with body dysmorphic disorder. So if you don't know what body dysmorphic disorder is, it's a mental illness in which a person obsesses over the way he or she looks, thinking about their real or perceived flaws for hours each day. And for Reed, he spent years analyzing every single feature, to the point and he had to make his first appointment to meet with a cosmetic surgeon when he was only 19 years old. Though he describes the doctor as being curt and uninterested in his worries, nevertheless he decided to undergo the surgery to get a large cheek implant. After getting the surgery done, Reed would face more problems, as he had to hide his face from the public to hide his disordered appearance post-surgery. It also didn't help when he woke up from the surgery, all the doctor and his staff could do was laugh at the actor's appearance.